Hello, hello, hello. This is Ryan, owner of Morningstar Printing. You see in the back, I'm a print broker. If you haven't watched my previous videos, then hello again. Yeah, so what pretty much happened is someone that did watch my previous videos, they wanted to know more. So like they were asking some questions. So we just had a great idea. I was just like, come through to the shop, bring your questions, and let's do an interview. Because, this print broker stuff, it could be a potentially high value career for you if you do it properly. And, if I can help in any way with that journey, as people have helped with me, why not? So let's get it started. So I got my boy Chris. He's off camera right now because he didn't want to clean up nice. So he cleans up nice, but he didn't clean up nice today. So he's gonna be off camera. But yeah, he's trying to get this party started, because he sees what's truly capable. So I told him, bring your questions, and I'll do my best to answer. So here we go. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Let's pick the brain.
All right, let's get it.
Let's get it.
So obviously, I want to know explain what a print broker does.
Okay, so a print broker essentially is someone who sells printing. So how some people sell cars, some people sell insurance. I sell printing. So I connect with other printers around the city, around the country, around the continent. And my job is to find whatever a client wants, and to give it to them at the cheap, and to give it back to the client at the best rate with the best without sacrificing quality. Right. So I serve as a middleman between the printer and the customer. So that's pretty much, in essence, the quick version of what it is.
Okay. So how did you get into the industry, and what actually led you to become a print broker?
Okay, well, how did I get into the industry? You can get into the industry in any amount of ways, right? With me, it was my father-in-law. He did printing, and I was just doing a random job, and I was just like, yo, listen, I want to learn printing. I just wanted to actually use the machines, right? But he was like, yo, why don't you get into print brokering? And I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know print brokering was a thing until I started looking into it. I'm like, say word, I can just sell printing? Like, this is something I can just do. And I don't have to hold any inventory. I don't have to do anything. So that's pretty much what happened. So after I learned the basics of it, after about a year, I decided to go full time with it because I saw the money it was making even in my part-time hours. Right? So that's pretty much how I got into it. And after that, it was mathematics, right?
Okay, so what was your biggest challenge when starting out as a print broker?
My biggest challenge of starting out as a print broker, that's a good question.
And even so I would understand what would be my challenge starting out as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
right. The biggest challenge I would say is starting out as a print broker is finding clients. If you're blessed to have a big network already, then it should make the transition a little smoother, because at the end of the day, you don't even have to know how to print. You don't know how to print. You have to know how to sell, right? Mm-hmm. And if you have a network of people that trust you and that are willing to give you money based off your recommendations, that's a easy route, right? But if you are starting off and you're just getting into it, gaining clientele is the hardest part, but it's the most important part. Because you're selling. So you have to have, when I present my case to a printer, I have to let them know, listen, I'm bringing in X amount of dollars a year, X amount of clients. This is what you're getting if you drop your prices for me, right? So I would say, yeah, if I had to say something, the biggest challenge of being a print broker is a continuous stream of clients, because also there's no loyalty in this game. You know what I mean? Clients are always trying to find the best price. Yeah, they're always trying to find the best price. Oh, Vistaprint does this, and this does this. So you got to stay on the game. You got to continuously be looking for clients and continuously be looking for suppliers.
Okay. So as I watched your channel, you previously created content about the Epson P800 as a DTF printer. So what actually made you shift from that to print brokering?
Well, it's funny because I was brokering before the P800, right? So the P800 is a machine that was it was able to print DTF prints, which was pretty new at that time, and I was on the wave. I caught the wave early with that, and so I'm like, okay, You know, as great as being a print broker is, sometimes being the end user can have its financial perks, right? So I started getting into it, and I bought the P800 machine, and that was fruitful for a while. But with the P800 machine, while it's a great machine, it can only do so much. And because it was such a great machine, I was getting a lot more work. Clients kept on coming. So I couldn't. The great little machine couldn't handle the work I was putting in. So I went back to brokering it, right? So I was brokering before, did the machine for a bit. It was great, but that got me another new base of clients that still work with me today.
That's awesome. You pretty much answered my next question, which is how has your experience in DTF printing helped or influenced your approach to print brokering?
Well, yeah, like as I mentioned, right? So it's, you know, it's all about gaining clients. And gaining clients is gaining trust, right? So when after the P800, my run with the P800, which is there's videos on this channel showing what I've done with the P800, and it really just kind of set me up for a next level of printing.
Awesome. Okay. So what's one lesson you wish you knew when you started brokering print jobs? One
lesson I wish I knew when I started?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I okay, so I wish I knew how to focus on one thing or one or two main things, right? Because if I say focus, I can print so many different things. So when you start getting into the print brokering world, you're like, I can print hats, I can print shirts, I can print banners, posters, t-shirts, this and that and that and this. So you become a jack of all trades, but not necessarily a master in one, right? So you have some people who just focus on printing t-shirts, for instance, and all their effort is the printing t-shirts. So they're getting bigger contracts, bigger business, because this is what they sell. Yes, there's the downside of that. If the t-shirt industry starts, you know, crumbling, you're kind of stuck, but the ceiling is so much higher because, you know, there's so much, you can really zone in on one product and zone in on that client base and target your ads and target everything to a certain demographic, right? Me being a print broker, it's a little bit of everything, right? And because I'm one person, it's harder to spread yourself, especially if you have a family and stuff like that.
Okay. So that being said, what types of print products do you specialize in selling now that you kind of gained that lesson? Now, do you narrow in now, or you're still kind of...
I'm still well out there, man. Although I think the biggest, when you're brokering, you got to see what makes the most money, right? And in my case, t-shirt, apparel makes a lot of money, and large format printing like backdrops, banners. You know, there's a lot. You'd be surprised once you start looking into what you're actually what you're charging for these based on what you're paying as a broker. The gap margin, it's money. It's money. You can make good money doing some of these things, right? So, you know, although you can make money doing everything, but in my case, it would be more the large format stuff and apparel.
And apparel. All right, cool. So how do you find and work with print vendors to fulfill orders?
Okay, so...
Give us some of the sauce, bro.
Yeah, give you some of the sauce right now. All right. So what I do is I do it as like it's a routine for me. It's like a job. You know, I get up. Well, it's a job. It's my business, right? So I wake up in the morning and I go on whether I don't know if you're in the States, it's like Craigslist or wherever, right? Marketplace. I go on Kijiji in Toronto here, and I just look for suppliers. Or I'll Google different industries and I start looking for suppliers, right? And I start making a list. Okay, this person sells hats. This person sells banners. This person sells mugs. And I make a list, right? And then I contact these people, right? And I first I ask them, because not all printers rock with print brokers, because they have to lower their costs for me. You know what I'm saying? So even though I'm bringing in volume, not all printers, they want it. They're like, okay, no. But a lot of them do. I would say it's about maybe 70-30 of printers that rock with brokers. Right? So what I do, I call them and I say, hey, listen, I'm a broker. Some of them know what it is. If not, I explain. And I let them know, like, this is the volume I'm bringing in. This is what I'm bringing in. This is what I can do. Even if you don't, you know, you could put me on a retainer or whatever. Put me on a temporary. But, you know, I need you to drop your cost for me. Right? Because I'm bringing you volume. Right? Most of them get it. They say, okay. You know, they check out my site. They check out my IG. They check out, sometimes you have to fill out forms. Some of them make it a complex process because then some of them they'll call references. They'll be like, oh, give me 3 companies you've worked with, and they'll do that. They'll call that. They ask how much gross you're bringing in a year. They ask, it's a lot of different things. Some, your business number, your this, because if that was the case, anybody could be a broker. Anybody could say, hey, I'm a broker. Give me the discount price, and then they give you a discount, and you don't hear from them again, right? Yeah. So there is a array with that. So after that, I start doing my canvassing for clientele. So whether it's advertising on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Nowadays, it's more technology wise. Back in the day, I would just find email addresses, man. Yeah, I'm one of those annoying people who just Google an industry. I'll Google I don't know, fitness industry, and every fitness person I see there, every fitness company, email. That's a little, I won't say it's illegal. I'm not going to jail, but you know what I mean? Some they don't oh, dude, why are you they consider it spam, but I try not to spam, right? But I, at least contacts. So I get contacts. I spend time. I spend maybe an hour or 2 just finding contacts, contacting people. You might get 10 no's. You just need 1 yes.
1 yes, right?
You just need 1 yes, right? So, if I get 1 yes every 2 days,
you're laughing.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which is why, it's good to have a knowledge of a lot of different things, which I do when it comes to the print world. But yeah, so if I call someone and say, hey, do you need shirts? No, I don't need shirts, but I need business cards. Oh, I do that too. Okay, great. I'm in with you. So yeah, so I take that time. So one is finding your suppliers, because you always have to have suppliers, because you always have to stay in the zone when it comes to pricing, when it comes to quality, when it comes to variety. You always need suppliers. Okay. And then you always need clients, because that's how you make your money. Yeah, right? Absolutely. So that's pretty much the day. And then as it goes on from there, it's more processing orders now. So later on in the day.
That leads into my next question. Can you walk us through a typical transaction from customer inquiry to delivery?
Okay. Nice. All right.
I call you. I say,
yeah. So
I need 100 shirts,
right,
front and back.
Right. So say, for instance, in a situation like that, you have to know what you're talking about. So if someone asks me for 100 shirts, if you call me and you say, oh, I need to print 100 shirts, I'll ask more detail. What kind of shirt? What kind of style do you want? Do you need a sweater, a t-shirt, tank top, polo, whatever, right? After that, we find out how many you need, the quantity. You want to find out the quantity. You already told me 100, right? Yeah. So another very important thing is when you need it. Because some people, they need it tomorrow. Some people can wait. Those 2 things make a big big change in the price. Yes. Right? They make a big difference with the price, right? So you got to find out when they need it. So once they start getting me that, in order for me to quote you accurately, I need to see the files. Okay. So I need to see everything. Once I see everything, then I can say, okay, I figure out what print style it is. So, you find out which printing style works best for what the client wants. So once you figure out all that, then you start shopping it around. So me now, I don't know the prices of every single thing out there, what the market price, because you got to find out the market price. Okay, so how do you price these things? How do I price it, right? Yeah. I don't know the pricing for everything. So me being a print broker, I go to popular sites. So whether it's Vistaprint, whether it's Zoom Printing, whether it's, it depends on the market. I go to what the popular site is for that market. That's a bigger company that puts thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into their online portals. Okay. So I just go look. I'll be like, okay, Vista's selling these t-shirts for $20. And then I go to my suppliers. If they're selling it for me for $8, I go, okay, I'll sell it for $16. You know what I'm saying? I made 100% of my money. So that's how I find out the pricing, right? And that's how I find out how to price. And if you do that enough, I've been doing it for a while now, so you kind of know market prices off the top of your head. But that's how, there's certain sites that I'll go to that I'll be like, okay, that's how okay, this is what they're selling for. This is the market price. This is what I'm getting it for. I can either do the market price, which I should be fine, or go a little lower. Because as a print broker, I have no overhead. I have a very little overhead. You know what I'm saying? So I can manipulate costs a bit more as a print broker.
Okay, that's some good information, man. So we're in this new age of, AI and all that type of stuff. So what kind of software or tools do you use to manage your business, if you do use any?
Okay. for the first while, I was just doing Microsoft Word to write my invoices. That was hell. Hell. I don't recommend that. Especially as your business gets going, you need a good software. So for me, I guess there's many out there. I don't know. I use QuickBooks. Okay. QuickBooks makes my life a whole lot easier. I'm not advertising QuickBooks, so there's no link. So, but
you should get on that.
There's no link. Maybe I need to find a link, but I'm not. But QuickBooks makes my life a whole lot easier.
Okay.
Why
is that?
Because just with when people need quotes right away, right? And then you need to manage your inventory, or like when I say inventory, your orders, to make sure you don't, and even just writing out invoices. To write out invoices manually and set that all up, it could be a very long time. It could take a very long time to save all that, to do all that quickly. So a company like QuickBooks, they just make it a lot easier, so I can do it on the run. I got my app, get them the invoices. You look official because I'm sending from QuickBooks. Okay. You know what I mean?
Can you pay through QuickBooks too?
You could pay, yeah. Client, and there's another thing. It's easier for people to pay, right? So they can pay with your credit card through QuickBooks and stuff like that, right? As far as other stuff, I use software like Canva. Canva makes life a lot easier. I'm a old school Photoshop guy. So I used to do Photoshop, spend all this time doing my graphic. I'm very trained in Photoshop. But honestly, this is a day and age where you got to work quick, right? Canva makes stuff a lot easier. What else do I use? And there's obviously video software like the stuff we're doing right now. I'll edit it in CapCut. I might use get some clips. Do some little clips, do like Opus Clip or something like that. Man, I'm just name dropping all these things. I'm giving you all the sauce right now. But generally, Photoshop, Canva, Adobe Illustrator, CapCut, Opus Clip, and to be honest, nowadays it's what's it called there? ChatGPT, man. These things they make life easier. You still got to use your brain, but they help you.
Helps,
it just really helps,
That's good, man. Okay, so how do you handle, so when you get all these clients and got some orders, how do you handle quality control and ensure your clients are satisfied with the final product? I can imagine that must be a headache, bro.
Yeah, that is one thing. That is one thing that can get kind of tricky with quality control because you can only check so many items, right?
Yeah.
So to be honest, that's where you have to trust your supplier. And so when you get suppliers, you have to trust that they are doing the right thing and they're not messing it up. And thankfully, nobody's perfect. And like I was told, and when you get into this game, this print game, if you think you're going to be perfect, don't get into it. Don't get into it. Mistakes are going to happen. Yeah. Right?
You actually told me that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not prepared to make a mistake.
If you're not prepared to make a mistake, bro, don't get into this print game because it's going to happen. Yeah. Right? But because especially as a broker, because you're not the hands-on person. So you have to trust that whoever is doing it, they're doing it well, And not only that they're doing it well, that if something does mess up, that they're professional enough to handle it, either correct it, provide a credit, refund, whatever, right? But not everyone's like that, and sometimes mistakes happen that you got to come out of pocket for, right? Because sometimes the mistake is not even the supplier's mistake. Sometimes it's your mistake sending the information. You may send the wrong thing. You may do the wrong thing. You may forget this. So there's going to be mistakes happening. So you have to budget. You have to budget for mistakes, So when you see all this money coming in, put some money away. Because I've had to pay upwards of like $3,000 for orders I messed up.
Okay. So that's a good tip. Don't just
have some mess up money.
Don't just go buy new.
Don't just
go buy new shoes.
Don't go buy some new J's. Don't go buy some Jordans. I don't want to see no new watch. Put some money away.
Yeah, for that. That's
rainy day money. Definitely.
That's a good tip. So speaking of like orders kind of messing up, can you give us one major order gone wrong and how did you handle it?
Oh man. Okay, that's a good one. Most of my messed up orders have to do with apparel, right? Because, I promote, like I really push, I can do rush stuff. So rush apparel, I can do rush shirts, right? One thing about rushing,
things go mess up.
Things get lost in translation sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So I've learned how to handle that a little better now. But when I was starting, there was one client where they wanted like 1,000 shirts in like 3 days, and They were giving me the information on WhatsApp late at night. I'm half asleep, so I'm taking in the order on WhatsApp, and even though I told the client, don't message me this time of night, but if someone comes to you with 1,000 shirts, that's like $6,000.
You're like,
I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I took the order. They weren't clear with their instructions, but I still went ahead with it. I assumed certain things, right? Never assume. Never assume. Make sure you confirm with them what is what. So anyways, the order came back. There was some stuff messed up on it. It was the client's fault per se, because they didn't tell me something, but because I didn't clarify it, I did it. And so I was responsible for it. So what I ended up doing, because they needed it was a rush order, so it came back rushed, delivered to them. They didn't like it, so then I had to go find another supplier, because these guys who did the shirts, they don't work weekends. That's another thing, printers. All you printers, start opening weekends. You'll make a lot of money. Couldn't find a weekend printer. So I had to find somebody that had to get up in the night, finish the order for the morning. They ended up charging me triple of what I was supposed to pay. Yeah. Right?
And so did that come out of pocket?
Of course it came out of pocket. Yeah, it came out of pocket. So what? $2,500 later, that I didn't make. The client got their stuff. They were okay with it, and I had to give them a discount because I was late. So, I could have fought back, but as a broker, it's rare you're going to fight back, because your job is to be with clientele, deal with clients, right? So, and you have mess up money, and you want to keep clients. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to mess up. It just matters how you're going to mess up an order. It matters how you fix the mess up. It matters how you respond. Clients appreciate that. Clients know that stuff is going to happen, but they want to know that if they mess up, this person is not going to make me feel like it's my fault and this and this and this and this, unless it truly is. You gotta have a backbone. But they're willing that you gotta know. They have to know that a broker is there to help you. They're not against you, in no matter what, even if they messed up.
So one of the things you told me too. I think I delivered that order.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I think so. But I remember you telling me, it's like, yo, you see, Chris, have everything like in writing.
Yes. Everything in writing. When you're dealing with brokers, when you're dealing with clients as a broker, because remember, you are the middle person between you, the printer, and the client. So you got to make sure your back is covered. You got to make sure your back is covered. You got to have that in writing, whether it's on WhatsApp, on email, or something that you can refer to where you confirm stuff. So if they come back and say, I never said that, you'd be like, well,
here it is.
You said it right there. You can breathe easy knowing that, you're good. So just have everything in writing, man. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Sure. So let's get into some like marketing and customer acquisition. All right. So how do you market your services and find new clients?
How do I market? Okay. So when I first started, I think I mentioned a little earlier, I had a network. I had a good network, right? I had a good network where, you just put the word out. I was just messaging people, DMing. Hey, so-and-so, I do printing now. Hey, so-and-so, I do printing. And I just made a little flyer on Photoshop, made a flyer. This is what I do. Sent it to them, right? When I started, and another thing I recommend to people, try to look professional as possible, even if you don't have the money. Even if you have the money, fake it till you make it. You know what I mean?
In terms of like when you're sending out emails and stuff like that?
Emails, your marketing material, don't just do something bootleg. Oh, I do this. Because if you do something bootleg, you get bootleg clients.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
If you do something good, you're going to get bootleg clients. You do professional stuff, you're going to get professional clients.
Yeah.
People will take you seriously. People will take you seriously as much as you take you seriously. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be successful, you gotta play the position. You gotta do successful things. You gotta have successful habits, right? So whether it's whatever, right? So you just have to, just make sure that whatever you do it to the highest standard. You get what I'm saying? Because that's why would I want someone looking at me like I'm a lower end printer? Like, yo, I'm who I am. I think I'm the best. So I got to make it seem like it. So anyways, I used to send flyers out. I got my website done, got stuff done, and and just kept out there. I curated an email list. As I mentioned, I was just stealing emails all day. So 3,000 emails later, I'm just sending out emails. Yeah, people unsubscribe, but okay, all I need is one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just sending out emails, sending out emails, sending out emails. And that's what I was doing. Curating emails, sending them out. This is before Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. So nowadays, it's a lot easier. You know, if you want to be successful, also, you have to put money into your business. You have to invest in your business. I always tell people, McDonald's is a $1 billion company, but you will always see a commercial for McDonald's, and you will always see flyers for McDonald's. So if I'm not putting out material because I think, people know, I am literally saying I am bigger than McDonald's. That don't make no sense. If I want to be successful, I got to let people know. You have to invest in your marketing. The more you put out, the more will come back in. It's simple as a pimple. And stuff like Facebook, email marketing, Instagram, TikTok, Google ads, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily do all of that because I don't have the finances for everything. But I definitely do email marketing or online marketing, digital advertising. And so you just try to always stay in front of people, do videos, make sure. And if you don't have the money, it's okay. But you just got to work harder. You got to be on your social media harder. You got to curate emails. You got to, if the less money you have, the harder you got to work. But it's not impossible either way. Both roads lead to the same. Because if you work hard enough, you will have enough money to not work as hard.
And that was going to be my next question. What role does social media play in your business and how do you use it? And I was as you're talking, I'm just even if you don't have the funds, Instagram is free. TikTok is free.
It's free. Put in work. You got to put in work.
Right? And the consistency and...
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
That's what's up, man. So what's your approach to networking and building long-term client relationships?
Oh, man. My approach to networking? Well, as a broker, as a print broker, you have to be able to approach people. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to sell, right? So that's another thing I missed earlier. What really helped my business a lot at the beginning, I went to a lot of networking events, right? I'm telling you, if you are in a community where you can go to networking events as a print broker, you cake every time, because there's not a lot of us. There's not. And as great as a business it is, there's not a lot of us doing it, right? So when you step in a room and everyone has their own little business and you're a printer, you're the one person who can cater to everybody.
Well, because they probably have a stand-up banner.
Everybody needs marketing material. Everybody. So you go to a networking event as a print broker, you're laughing. Right. That really helped. I can't believe I forgot that earlier. But yeah, you go to, so what I suggest is, as a print broker, get some business cards, go to networking events, hand out your cards. You will make a ton of connections, a ton. I've made some of my best connections because then you get the face-to-face experience, right? Because my approach is once people trust you, once people have that trust for you, they'll give you their money. You know what I mean? So if you're talking to me, it's one thing for you to talk to me on the phone and you see me face-to-face and I'm really able to sell myself and sell my business and tell you what I do and tell you what I can do for you. Oh man, that's get the fish, man. It's light work, right? So, just be straight, be honest. Be honest with people. Tell them what you do. Don't say what you can't do. Even though as a broker, it's very rare that I tell people I can't do something. I can do it. Yep.
So going back to a little bit about social media and gaining clients and advertising, have you experimented with paid ads, or do you rely on referrals and organic reach alone?
Yes. Well, as mentioned, I do paid ads nowadays, but for the longest time, I've been doing this for about 12 years. I only started doing paid ads this year, right? So yes, my whole company is pretty much based organically, right? Because one thing, and this is a good problem, as a broker, sometimes you get overwhelmed, so you don't even want to advertise sometimes.
I know, you mentioned you told me that,
you don't want to advertise sometimes because you're gonna get so much work potentially that you can handle. Like I got a family, you know what I mean? So you just gotta be smart. You know, when times are slower, you advertise. When times are hype, yeah, you still advertise, but maybe not as much. You know? But yeah, I do paid ads.
And generally, how much do
do I put into my paid ads? Not a lot, man. I probably put $10 a day.
Really?
Yeah, $10 a day.
Affordable, man.
$10 a day, 1 week a month.
Wow.
Yeah, $10 a day, 1 week a month. And then whoever comes in during that time, then I just focus. Like say for instance, I'm running ads right now. I've probably got about 60 followers since I've run this ad for 4 days.
Yeah.
And a bunch of inquiries. So you know the inquiries I'll answer right away. The followers I'll just start shooting them ads and shooting them messages in the week when the ad is not running.
Okay.
Right. So you have to block your time. You have to set up your time.
So like with the new follower, you'd like kind of DM saying, "Hey, thanks for the follow."
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I'll do that. Hey, if you need anything, and I'll send them like a flyer of what I do, and you know, gotta go from there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one strategy that has brought you the most success in acquiring clients?
One strategy that has brought me the most success in acquiring clients, I would say once again, and again, like I said, I'm slapping myself that I didn't mention it earlier, is the face-to-face approach. Network meetings, network events bring me the best money. Yeah, they bring me the best money because especially if you choose the right events. There's an app called Meetup. I don't know if I think it's in the States too. So, yeah. It's called Meetup. It tells you networking events that are going on. You can see what the event is about. You kind of see, sometimes you even see the people who are coming and what they do, and you just pick and choose. Hey, I like this one. Let me go here. And not only do they bring me good business, you meet a lot of cool people. You get a lot of cool perks. Like I knew people with like Raptor season tickets who had me going to free games for the playoffs. I was there for game 1. I got facts. You can't see them on camera, but I got receipts, and these are from clients. Yeah. You do, and so not only are you meeting people, you're trusting them. They're trusting you, and you give them good work. They're gonna take care of you. People appreciate good work. People appreciate customer service. People want to be taken care of. People are busy. People are busy doing all types of stuff. So if you're able, as a broker, to satisfy all their needs print-wise, they appreciate that. You know? But yes, definitely the face-to-face approach.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into challenges and industry insights, all right? So what are the biggest misconceptions people have about print brokering?
The biggest misconception that they don't even know we exist.
Really? Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
It's what it is, right? If you ask 10 people, eight or 9 people don't know what a print broker is. It's just what it is. So I can't even say misconceptions because their their computer starts malfunction. So wait, you're not a printer? No, man. Like you don't know. Like if you put me in front of a print machine, I'll be like, what is this? I don't know. Like, my job is to sell printing. Yeah. So I think that's one misconception, that they think print brokers know how to actually use me because we're so knowledgeable about printing. Yeah. They think I can tell you everything about most products, but I can't do it. Yeah. Just tell you about it. Right. So I think that's one thing that people, they don't even know we exist, man. You know.
That's even better for
exactly. So the market, it's such a big market. Yeah. The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Amen.
Bars, you know? Hallelujah. So how do you handle customers who are price shopping and comparing quotes?
Oh, that's the best. That's what print brokers are here for. So if you're comparing a quote, if you have the best suppliers in this, if you have a good army of great suppliers, I can match or beat any price. It's pretty rare that I can't match or beat a price. It's only if I want to. So if I think this client has a potential to be a fruitful client, I'll be like, yeah, I'll match it. I'll beat it. You know, so we can match or beat anything. Brokers are very good at matching and beating prices because once again, brokers do not have overhead, right? Or the overhead is minimal. A lot of brokers work from home. I just happen to have an office, right? A little showroom. But for 10 years, I worked at home. So when you're working at home, You just need a laptop.
Yeah.
All you need is a laptop. That's my overhead. So if I'm competing, I can compete with anybody, right? But yeah, that's one of the easy things, man.
So, would you consider print being such a competitive space, or
do I think printing is competitive?
Yeah, and if
printing is definitely competitive. I mean, any industry is competitive, right? But you just have to get in where you fit in. You have to find your lane and chill in it, right?
That's basically how you differentiate yourself.
Exactly. You just gotta find your nook and get in it.
So what is your nook? Yeah.
My nook, I tell people I sell Hondas, not Lamborghinis. You know what I'm saying? So I can get you. I don't get I don't get like 10,000 shirt orders or 500,000 flyers and postcards and stuff like. I don't get those orders, right? There's people who get them, and because remember I talked about people who focus on getting those kind of stuff, so they'll get the big orders, right? But I can make just as much as someone, but because I do a little bit of everything, I'll do 100 shirts, I'll do 10,000 flyers, I'll do 100 mugs, I'll do 50 posters, I'll do this, so I sell little, and that leads to good monetary returns, right? So that's my thing. So my thing is I can get you, and I work with small to middle level businesses. Sometimes, bigger businesses do, obviously you do get the big orders every now and then, but it's not my focus. My focus is getting, working with smaller businesses as they grow. That's my thing. So, and the church space. The church space is, you grow with churches as well too, charities and stuff like that. They're not doing the biggest stuff, but they'll do a lot of little things, and it adds up, man.
Too, right?
Exactly, consistently, it adds up. All right, so yeah.
Okay, have you noticed any trends in the printing industry that brokers should pay attention to?
Okay, brokers, because we do have a little more time, because we don't have as much overhead, we're not doing the printing. You have to always stay on the trends. Like when I say trend, technology, with the rise of AI and stuff like that, with the rise of all these different things that are quote unquote making business easier, take advantage of them, use them, automation, use the stuff, because you don't know what's going to happen as far as, certain products may be obsolete. So you got to be able to pivot. Brokers, we can pivot. That's why printers love us so much, Some of them don't like us, but the ones who love us, they love us, because in any industry, we can pivot and still make money, because we're always looking at suppliers, we're always finding clients, we're always learning stuff, we're always finding different technologies to make our life easier. So brokers, you learn so much. Do you know how many businesses I want to start? My brain wants to explode of the stuff I know, because I'm just always researching stuff to keep myself in the forefront as a broker. So it's a very cool business, right? But you got to be disciplined. You have to be extremely disciplined in this, because you can easily stray off into something else if you're not focused. And then next thing you know, you're not making money on it. You got to take care of your baby. If you're a broker, take care of your baby, But yeah.
Now let's get into some growth and future plans. Okay, so how do you plan to scale your print brokering business?
Oh man, I think you asked me what one of my challenges were earlier. That is the number one challenge as a print broker, is scaling. Because you're only one person. Because I know I'm not fully answering the question, but it's a very cutthroat industry. That's one thing as a broker. Print broker is a cutthroat industry, because your suppliers are gold. People want access to your suppliers that you're getting these crazy discounts from. People want access to your clients where these people are paying consistently. So you got to keep both sides under lock and key. So it's very hard for me to go to someone and say, hey, do you want to partner with me? Let's grow this business. Because that person will come in, see everything I'm doing, and be like, wait a minute, let me take these clients, or let me start taking these suppliers and go start their own business. You know what I mean? And yeah, you could do NDAs and non-compete clauses. Those things are easy to work around. They're like non-existent. So back to the question, as far as scaling, you just got to just do what you can within your means. If God willing, you're provided with someone you could trust, or someone who's a upright person that you can work with, not thinking they're trying to undermine you, that is the greatest. You know, that's the greatest thing, because then you can grow. Then you're free to search for more suppliers. I'm free to focus on one thing. But right now, as a broker, you have to focus on everything. You're your accountant. You're your A&R. You're the president. You're the head cook. You're the bottle washer. You're the janitor. You're everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you got to keep everything close to the chest, because you don't want people stealing your stuff. So with that being said, it is hard to scale, but I think that as you go along as a broker, it's like it happens naturally. It happens naturally, you know, and you just have to just see what's happening. Okay, this is working, and then just work with what you can handle. You know, take on what you can handle, because the last thing you want to do as a broker is taking on too many things, because stuff will mess up. Yeah, you know.
So if I could pretty much gather what you're saying is building a team.
Yeah, you know, if you can build a team, you know, yes, there's a lot of people what's the word? Outsource. Yeah. I outsource my stuff to, right? But outsourcing is great. It does make life easier. However, having someone duplicating yourself, finding clients, finding suppliers, finding clients, finding suppliers, you know what I mean? Going to networking meetings, doing this. If it's two of you, if I'm grossing over 6 figures a year, right? Like, you know, my lowest year maybe around 100,000. Best year 500,000. You know what I mean? So on average, we're averaging around 250 to 300 a year. If I had someone else duplicating, the money duplicates. Yeah, it's simple math. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The money duplicates, and probably even more. Exactly. If you find someone with the same passion, it would more than duplicate. It would more than duplicate. Guaranteed.
Are there any additional services you're considering offering in the future?
Yes, you know, there's a lot of stuff I've tried to get into. So, you know, social media marketing, you know, that's definitely one that I'm looking into. So I might even have a partner to say, okay, you're handling this. You know, you handle social media marketing. I'll help, but this is what you're doing, right? So because I can funnel some of my clients, because a lot of clients, they need it, but they don't even know they need it. That, you know what I mean? Like, it's so important, but people don't even know they need it, right? Yeah. But that would be one of the things I want to, you know, expand into. As far as anything else, no, because like I said, you don't want to do too much. I already do a lot, right? So whatever I do, it has to be an arm of the printing. Like marketing, it's an arm of the printing. Like, you know, even video editing, like there's a lot of things I can do, right? But like, how is it helping my printing? Because that's what is the main thing. And eventually maybe something may come along that's making me so much money that's like, okay, printing, you're great. But it has to be really something cool, because when you're getting consistent income, you're pushing over a decade of consistent income, and consistent 6-figure income. Yeah. You know, it's really hard, but yeah.
And it goes back to that scaling thing, where if you have somebody.
Exactly. If you have somebody working with you, it makes like, you see it.
You kind of like, all right.
Exactly.
You just kind of be the CEO, oversee, check in.
Exactly. Just see, making sure everything's good. Smooth. Boom, boom, boom.
Cut the check.
Cut the check. Definitely.
I love it. Okay, so where do you see the print industry going in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, people always say, oh, printing's dying, Printing's not dying. Printing is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Yes, you may not see people print business cards as much, because that's digital. There's a lot of digital stuff now. Maybe flyers, because people are doing more online ads. That's going to rise and stuff like that. But apparel's not going anywhere. Banners aren't going anywhere. Like bags, if I need bags printed, mugs, people can't digitally drink water. It ain't going nowhere. So I think the print industry is in good hands. It's not going anywhere, but you do have to be careful. Like, I say that, but you don't want to get comfortable, because I really don't know, right? That's just how I see it.
I just think, even like as you're talking, I think of just even in the next 5 years, could it be even easier for you to come up with like product idea with AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Will shorten your time.
Exactly. I think yeah, AI is going to make stuff a lot easier to work with when it comes to printing. But I mean, as far as printing's around, man, you know, it ain't going nowhere. Because people need things. When you walk outside, you don't realize you need printing until you walk outside. It's like the Matrix when Neo started seeing all that green stuff dropping. You go outside, you look at banners. You look at like the advertisements in the bus shelters. You look at billboards. You go in a restaurant. People are wearing uniforms. They need menus. It's printing is everywhere, bro.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know what I mean? It's everywhere. Even signage on like Home Depot signs or like Walmart signage. There's sign. That's a form of printing. People. So it's everywhere. It's not going anywhere. As a broker, you can always pivot and say, okay, I want to start selling this now. This is. I'm not going to focus on business cards anymore. I'm going to focus on this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because this is what's selling. That's pretty much what that.
Okay, so what's your vision for your business in the next year?
My vision for my business is I do want to lean into my online advertising a lot more. I do want to lean into that. Get more digital, get more content out, hence, you know, even videos like this. I want to do more stuff like this, get more digital content, because that's, you know, people are online. It's what it is, right? And yeah, that's the main thing. Getting more immersed online. Don't be like these old head printers. A lot of these old printers, they never took advantage of technology. They don't see that things are moving and you get lost in the sauce. As a broker, that's a great thing. You're always ahead. Or at least at par with everybody. But as a printer, sometimes you don't even realize certain things is happening until you're way behind. You know? But yeah, like I said, even with the P800, the DTF, I was one of the first people in Toronto to have a machine. Because one of my clients is having to say, "Oh, do you do this?" And I'm like, "What is this?" You know what I mean? Found out about DTF, started look. It's what it is, and look, DTF is like running it right now. Right? I'm loving it. Loving it. Anyways, but yeah.
Okay, so let's be closing in a little bit. Let's get some more advice for beginners, okay? What advice would you give to someone looking to become a print broker? With all this said.
With all this said, I'll say do it.
That's what I was thinking. Just do it. As I'm hearing, I'm like, yo, just do it.
Just
like
do it.
Your little your parable of like Neo going out and seeing it's so true. As you're talking, like, yeah, printing is literally everywhere.
It's everywhere, bro.
It's literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, just do it. You know what I mean? It's not a hard business to get into. It's really not. It's really not. And like I said, people can, even people watching the video, I don't know. It's a long video, so. But if you have questions, just ask, man. Just do it. It's really not hard, and it's such an easy business to get into that could be very lucrative, right? But it's not overnight. Nothing is overnight. You gotta put work in, but it will work if you put the work in. I'm telling you, printing. There's even when there's friends of mine who said, "Oh, I want to get into the industry, but I don't want to compete with you." You're not competing with me. You know, first of all, I'm the best, but second of it, there's so much printing to go around. You know what I mean? People compare printing to the drug game. Like, you know, you're buying from suppliers. You selling to the customers. You don't let customers meet the connects. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, that's how you think about it sometimes. It's like, you know, if you're coming from that game, but that's business 101 though. Yeah. You know, it's business 101, right? So it's like, you know, just do it. Like and just learn it, do it, learn it, do it, find people. And people like telling you things. Printers like to give you knowledge. Because when you're selling for a printer, you're making them money.
Yeah.
So they're gonna give you as much knowledge, as much resources as they can. Like a lot of my printers, shout out some of my printers, they've given me so much resources. They're like, yo, they'll send me samples, they'll send me this, they'll send me that, they'll send me that. Like my whole wardrobe is from suppliers. You know what I mean? From clients and suppliers, like, you know, so.
Okay, so if someone is starting with zero industry connections, I know you mentioned you had a good network.
Right.
What's the first step they should take?
Find connections.
And
so when I say, okay, practically,
would that be like going on LinkedIn?
You can go on LinkedIn,
or
you can go on LinkedIn. I don't really use LinkedIn. I'm not saying don't use it. It's just not my thing. But me, like I said, get some marketing material done, business card, flyer, whatever. Find networking events. Just go to networking events.
That's it.
Easy money.
Yeah, start there.
Start there,
Yeah.
right? Start with your immediate circle. Start with your family. If you have a family, I don't know who, some people have big families, some people small, whatever. If you have family, your circle of friends, tell them that what you're doing. You know what I mean? They'll help you out. You know what I mean? Not to say, they will for sure. I'm not saying they will bring stuff, but let them know. People are always willing to help. You know what I mean? But you don't know. My thing is, you don't know if you don't ask. That's with selling. That's with anything. If you don't know, if you don't ask. If I don't come to you and say, hey, I do printing. Do you need printing? You could be a client I missed. You know what I mean? So you don't know if you don't ask. That's one thing as a broker. You got to be able to sell, man.
Okay, cool. And what's a mistake you see a lot of new print brokers making?
A lot of a mistake?
Or potential mistake.
Yeah, a mistake that I see print brokers making is that they're not going hard enough. And they get discouraged by weird clients. Clients are gonna be weird. You're gonna have bad clients. So so it's like, they get discouraged quickly. Don't get discouraged. Like, it's a business. You're gonna go through peaks and valleys. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? But just like the stock market over the years, if you look at the stock market from the 30s to now, it goes like this. It goes like this. But it started here. It's here. So if you invested in something in the 30s, you got money. So anything long term, you just got to put work in. You got to put work in it. Those things, the things that I mentioned before, marketing, suppliers, marketing, suppliers, marketing, suppliers. Just keep on marketing, keep on finding suppliers, and learning the business.
And to have the mindset to stay in it to win it.
And to stay in
Don't
it.
get discouraged.
Stay in it. You know what I mean? And that's like, thank God I was blessed with a good network. But there's brokers I know that came up under me that I was broke. A broker can be a broker. If you have good enough suppliers, the price is cheap enough for me to take that, sell it to you, and you can still sell it to somebody else. I'm telling you, the money's real out here. Right? So I had people who started like that. Then this one lady, she did mostly wedding invitations. Right? So I would just print her wedding invitations, she'd sell them. Then she leaned into it. She said, this is my niche. She went and got her own suppliers, overseas suppliers. She has her own thing, to the point where I started buying from her. She went in it, and now she's branched off into whatever she's making. Like, she's making, I ain't gonna put out her business out there, but she's making bread. You know what I mean? All from, she's just driven. This is what I'm gonna do. Just do it. Okay.
So let's get into some closing thoughts, all right? So what's been your most rewarding moment as a print broker?
My most rewarding moment, and I'm putting my business out there, but when I bought a house, not only did I buy a house, I was able to keep my previous house. Balling. I was saying balling.
You're all right, man.
But it
That's
was
been good, man. Straight up.
You have a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're able to do that.
I see this house. It's nice, guys. So get into print brokerage, man. Because print brokering, yo.
This guy's putting all the business out. But it's a blessing from God.
Straight up.
And you're able to, like, when I slept in my house, I was like, yo, this is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is real. Like, yo, sometimes I pinch myself. I have to sit down. Sometimes I'm working, I just gotta smile. Because it's not without its challenges. Don't get it twisted. Like, I've made some bad business decisions, some bad investments, but that's not because of the broker. That's just because sometimes sometimes your aggression can come back to bite you. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would say that was probably the most fulfilling aspect of my journey.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay, so if you could go back and do one thing differently in your business journey, what would it be?
If I can go back and do one thing different, it would If I can go back and do one thing different, I would have probably started earlier. Does that count?
Yeah, no.
Like, I wish
Did you know?
No, I didn't know about it.
Okay.
Like, I wish I knew about it when I was younger, because when I started, I'm starting a family. I have a wife, so you gotta. There's other things that take your attention. So printing is not priority. Yes, it was working, but it's not the priority. You know what I mean? Started having kids, and if I started this at like 21, oh my goodness, where I can just go balls to the wall, I'm good. You know?
No wife, no kids.
No, I can just
The hustler mentality.
just make money.
Yeah.
That what I would say was a regret.
Yeah.
But you know, not really. I mean that's not fully answering the question, but I wish I knew about it sooner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Other than that, and as far as any regrets, nothing really. There's no regrets when it comes to the business. The business is great. And I'm not even saying that because I'm in it, but yeah, there's little things here and there, like I said, focusing on certain industries specifically. Because when you do focus on a certain industry, it's easier to scale, right? So that's I won't go as far as to say it's a regret, but if I could change that, I probably would have looked into that a little more. Would I have done it? Maybe, maybe not. But no, there's no real. Once you get into it, it's just you're good because you're learning every day. I learn stuff all the time, and the freedom you have. I go to the gym.
I was just about to say, you just came back from the gym.
I just came back from the gym during my work day. I can go and I'm taking calls at the gym. You know, if I want to go home, if my kids need me for something, go pick them up, go for dinner, whatever. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So, but yeah.
Okay. All right, man. This has been awesome, man. This is a lot of great information. So, where can people find and connect with you if they want to learn more, work with you? Do you do consulting? Something you want to get into? Like,
honestly, I haven't. I'm looking. That's another thing that we may get into. Thank you for the lead in. I may start getting into consulting. If people really want consulting, get at me. We'll work out something. But I have nothing structured. I just do this because I love it, right? I like telling people stuff and, just whatever. But, obviously, we'll see how these videos go. And, hey, if people want a consulting and people want to really sit down, we can do that. But for now, if you want to get at me, just comment in the video. Shoot me an email. I am on social media, but I don't like giving out my personal stuff. If you can find me, great. My business is there. If you can find the business, find me on IG, great. But it is what it is. If you want to find me, you can find me. Straight up.
All right, well, Ryan, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. This is not the last video we're gonna do, and I'll be, like I said, I'm gonna try and break down stuff here and there and do little things here and there. But thank you, Chris, for coming through. He's a professional interviewer that you're never gonna see. You may see him next time. See him next time. But appreciate it.
No problem.
And we go from there, man.
Right.
Boom.
Boom.